Celsius makes energy drink. And what?
I
All
had no
right,
idea.
guys, welcome to the Meeting Ghetto podcast. You caught me slipping, talking about products. And today we have
Yeah.
a special episode where we have two podcast hosts. We got Troy in the building once again,
Yes, sir. Yeah. Troy D. Ryan, aka the Love Guru himself, and the host of Love Journal.
and I'm the host with the most, Medium Ghetto podcast himself. Ready to rock this thing out. We're gonna be talking about love languages and what was it, self
Yeah.
love. Either we're gonna figure out
Yeah.
which one we're gonna talk about first, but I feel like we might want to just talk about self love first.
Yeah.
First thing I
Oh
want to
yeah.
know is like, since you're a love guru, where are you with your own love right now? Where are you with love?
Where I'm at with love right now is I love love. I'm hopeless romantic in some ways, but right now I don't want love. That makes sense. Um, I'm in a place where if it comes, it comes. I'm not gonna like push it away, but it's not my focus. Um, because I'm I don't want to make the same mistakes.
I
So
see.
that's why I do the love journal shit. Like it's literally like my own therapy because love has always kind of been a little difficult for me. And as of like sometime last year, I found myself like cringing at love songs and rolling my eyes at like rom coms and shit. These things that I liked before. So it was like, something's happening here. Like I need to I need to nip that in the bud. So that's why I do love journal and why I'm like at this place where I just want to heal and understand love on a better level before I actually go back into actively loving.
I see what
So
you're
yeah,
saying.
and I had to recently let go of a certain situation that wasn't really a thing, but it was. It was one of those will they won't they kind of things, like
Mm-hmm.
in the movies and the shows. It's the two people that they either have done something or are doing something, or it's just weird energy around them. It's one of those. So I had
Oh.
to kind of like officially cut that off because it was very confusing. So yeah, single as fuck.
It happens,
Basically.
man.
Yeah. Um I was gonna say really quick though, I usually like to like start the show off with a quote.
Do
Um
it.
and then the one that I have for today was related to self-love, and it's love yourself first and everything else falls into place. And that's from Lucille Ball. And I 100% agree. Like that's also like to tie back into the situation. I've grown to love myself more, and the more I was loving myself, and the more I was like really seeing myself, and like damn, all right, I'm the shit. The less the situation worked.
Okay.
So it's like something ain't the math ain't math in here.
So you saying like the more you learn to love yourself, the less the situations like that worked out?
Yeah, like the specifically the situation that I had recently let go of. Like I just like I think there was a I had like a couple meltdowns the past few years of the situation of just either arguing or like just going fucking nuts or acting like fucking wild because it's like I think there was two parts of me trying to exist. There was a part of me that has been growing to love myself, that which to where I am now, that have been trying to work towards that, and then there was a part of me that was trying to stay who I was, which contradicts that. Like it was like basically a situation of like the old me wasn't healthy.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So it was like the unhealthy me was like, no, we gotta stay here. And
So like,
the me
the people you was messing with, they like the unhealthy you, but now you healthy and they're like, bro, I don't even eat broccoli.
yes, not exactly yes, exactly that situation, not that thing exactly, but yeah. Like and like literally like I was actually told like, I miss just to kind of provide a little more like I guess background. It was like a friend kind of. And so they would say like, oh, I miss my old friend, like I miss the old you, and it's like you don't know that person that you're talking about didn't love itself. So nah, son. No, you can't get that old me back
What
because.
In which ways didn't you love yourself that, or you showed you didn't love yourself?
We got time.
We do.
Yo, I don't know, like
We definitely got
because
time.
I say that right. I say that because it started uh, when I was young. It's not something that, and I that kind of goes to some of like one of the questions I was going to actually ask you too. Um, it's always been a struggle for me to really love myself, and it was from different things and different phases in my life. Um, like just there was one point where like now I love my fucking skin. I literally like I my shit is just ooh like but like there was a point where I was using bleach cream. You know what I'm saying?
Where the hell
Back
do you
when I was in
get?
high
Wait,
school,
wait,
like
wait, wait. How? Where do you even get bleach cream at?
from a beauty supply. Yep.
Where? Asia?
Well, so specifically where I lived, anybody that's watching from Detroit, it was this beauty supply called Lee's Beauty Supply on Plymouth and Evergreen, and it was like this little like white jar with like peach lettering and stuff like that, and it was bleach cream. And I laugh at it now so hard because honestly, I don't even know if the shit worked. But it was the mindset of like, gotta get lighter, gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I hated, and then it didn't help that, and it's not their fault, you know what I'm saying? It was something I had to deal with, but like I also had light skinned brothers. It's like, God damn it, like it was like an
Oh,
extra
oh. You the
push to,
crunchy
you know what I'm
one.
saying?
You the
Yeah,
crunchy one.
right. And so kids ain't shit. So I remember one girl one time she found out I was brothers to the other two guys. She's like, "Y'all brothers? What happened to you?" And I'm like, "Bitch, ain't nothing happened to me. Fuck you. Ain't shit happened to me. God damn it." But things like that weigh on you sometimes. So it's always been different forms of, I guess, self attacks are like I don't know how to really describe it, but it's just always manifested in different ways. So I just had to spend some time like really sitting with every single part of myself that I didn't like at different times to understand where it came from, and then be like, all right, this is some bullshit. And then make the time to like love that part.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So for you, actually, has self-love been like a struggle for you?
At this point, I think when I was, let's say, like 2018, it was, and I think like 2018 before, and it was just like I think it was I didn't value myself as much as I value myself now. Like my value have has went up.
Yeah.
Stock has gone up, and at
Okay.
one point
Price
I
went
was
up.
just at one point I was just doing stuff to do stuff to pass time and to like,
Mm,
you know what I mean? Like, let's say I went to the military because there was nothing else to do in the military. I had no purpose. I didn't have. I had no intention. I really went to the military to find out to make some more time to figure out what I wanted to
right.
do with my life. And I got
I feel
into
that.
a long term relationship. I devalued myself in a long time relationship. I remember I broke
Mm,
my neck, and I was just like, "Yo," I clinged on to somebody in a long term relationship because I was like, "Well, if they're good enough to take care of me, I guess I'm good enough to, serve them and make sure they're good." At one point, I was kind of
yeah, it's
living
like
for
that.
someone
Like,
else.
damn, they helped me, so I gotta like. It was like a
So I was dated out of
yeah.
obligation. Never dated out of obligation, I realized either.
No, no.
And after that, all fizzled out. You know what I mean? Because they had problems and they never had time to sit with themselves. There were those people who kept jumping from relationship to relationship,
Ooh, yeah,
and
yeah.
they just couldn't figure out why they couldn't stay with themselves. So they weren't cool with themselves either. So you had two dysfunctional people together at the end of the day.
Which happens a lot,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So two dysfunctional people didn't work out. But fast forward 2018, I spent the last 3, 4, 5 years by myself almost, and just been really cool. Had a couple flings. I think the flings come
Yeah.
in the
Oh yeah.
summer or during the holidays.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think last
When
year
you
at
go
my
back
first,
visit your hometown and shit, you know. Hey,
yeah,
I'm back home.
I think last Valentine's Day I was so excited because it was the first Valentine's Day I didn't have a date.
Mm.
Cause as soon as like the holiday, somebody
Ironically,
like,
I've
yo,
never had one.
I'm trying to get freaky with somebody. You know what I mean? Like as soon
Right.
as the holidays hit, somebody trying to hit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They trying to
I
get Christmas
have
gifts.
actually never had one.
For
I
real.
never. Yeah. Yeah. That's
I feel like it's an
I
easy thing to get. I'm not
Well, I
saying
mean,
I'm
yeah, maybe, right? But like, I don't know. It's something about certain times a year. I'm just never involved with anyone, and it's so weird. Where it's like, and I guess it's kind of like how you said. It's like sometimes, some parts of the year, it's real. It's like summertime. It's always somebody. But that summer, the heat just get people like that.
summertime.
Yeah. Wintertime, but after Christmas. Like, so I've never like been with somebody during Christmas. Like, or like it's like weird shit. Like, I don't, and then but like I've definitely like had relationships between like January, then they stop, and then like nothing for Valentine's Day because never had a Valentine, and then like March, April ish, that time. Then my birthday is May, nothing then. So I never had one for my like somebody for my birthday. Like it's so weird, like the timing. But like I've had relationships, I've had flings, I've talked to people. It's just those time of year. I need to look that up. Like it must be something in my like birth chart or something that's like these times a year. No, this ain't for you. Like,
I, I feel like
that's crazy.
I think like for me, they become out of nowhere during like all right near I think near Christmas time you don't have nobody. You're like, I wish I had someone around this time. So
I
your mind just opens up and be like, yo, who can I get? And then you probably scrolling down Facebook looking to find somebody. They probably find me and be like, yo, what's up? And then we start
actually,
talking,
oh
and
yeah.
then we make it to Valentine's Day, and then everything starts to dissolve before the summer, and then you have your
Right.
hot girl summer, and then you come back
Right.
and do and
City
repeat.
boy summer.
Hot girl, city boy
Right.
summer, you repeat.
I had to catch myself. I did actually have a relationship to Christmas before last, but that was like we broke up like 2 weeks later. So it was by that time obviously kind of off. It was headed towards somewhere anyway.
That
So
nigga was just
that's why I
cold.
forgot.
That nigga was just
Eh,
cold.
No, yo, listen. I literally had to
Yeah.
consider the situation, like, cause, cause I think he might have just needed somewhere. Like, a part of me wonder, like, did he just need somewhere to stay, yo? Like,
It's cold outside.
when,
You need somewhere to stay.
but I mean, he started staying with me in October, September, October. It wasn't that cold yet in Arizona.
Yeah, I think
I don't
Arizona
know.
hot.
I don't know.
Isn't Arizona really,
Yeah.
really, really, really hot?
Um. So yes, between like, and that just can start as early as April, but mostly like the summer months really, and then it gets to like triple digits up to like 1 fucking 20,
What
and
the fuck is
then
120 like? Like, do you just seize up?
so I'll say this: it's dry heat, right? So
Yeah.
you won't sweat as much, but your body just feels like it's in the oven. It's just hot. It's not no, and there's no wind. There is wind, but it's hot wind, so it don't feel like wind, and it's not. That's not what wind is. Wind is like, oh, breeze, a cool. No, it's like that shit is. So, but then like around September, October, it starts to cool down a bit. Then by December, and actually like the past like 2 years, like December, January has actually been kind of. When I say it, I had to catch myself because my blood is thinned out. But it has been kind of cold. It'd be like 50, and like 50 to me now versus 50
It don't
to me
even
when
be
I was from
freezing.
Detroit. You stay here for about a year or two, your body get used to that extreme heat. 60 degrees is like, shit, I need a coat. The fuck is going on out here? Like, so yeah.
Damn.
um, but yeah, he probably needed somewhere to stay. I don't know. Uh, so real quick, what part of yourself was the hardest to love?
Hmm. Hmm. That's a good question. So, what part of
Yeah.
myself was hardest to
So
love?
and I can
I'll
like
say
elaborate a little more. Oh, you can go
I
ahead.
got it.
Okay, cool. You got it.
I think the people pleasing part because I really was a quiet kid for a really, really, really long time, and I didn't speak my mind just to keep things stable. You know what I mean with
Mm-hmm.
relationships and things like that. I didn't rock the boat often, but now I kind of
Yeah.
rock the boat, and I'm starting to realize like again my value as a person and to me. So I think I stopped the people pleasing which really
Yeah.
prevented me from loving myself. And I start doing what makes me better. Like I really want to get into
Fuck
comedy
yeah.
now, and The reason I didn't get into comedy because my third grade
Yeah.
teacher said that wasn't a good idea to get into comedy because they don't make any
Oh,
money.
fuck teachers like that.
And then
You don't tell kids shit like that.
and it just felt like growing up with my parents, with my mom, my brothers and them would get like in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
and she would pay like tens of thousands of dollars for lawyers, but wouldn't invest 100 or 2 into my future. You know what I mean? So at some
Right.
point, it was just like, yo, what the hell?
Yeah.
So I start
I feel that.
questioning like, is it me? Is it what I'm
Right.
doing is important? Is what I want is important? So I just start becoming appropriate for the world and not appropriate for myself.
Uh. Okay. Trying to make sure you were an asset, quote unquote. I guess, or like somebody would want to.
Yeah.
People, please. Basically, I get that.
Yeah, and let's
Um.
elaborate more on that
Okay.
one though. So like I think my biggest challenge now with dating was overthinking what someone wanted. Let's say
Mm,
I used to be
mm,
like, all right, I
okay.
need to be before I can be a good spouse or before I can be a good person in a relationship, I need this, this, and this, and this. So I have these
Yeah.
fake criteria on myself that would restrict me from actually creating a good relationship. And now
Mm,
I'm open to figuring out with that person and building a relationship. You're never going to be ready for the perfect relationship. There's no perfect relationship. You just got to work
mm-hmm.
on it right then and there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn. You gave me two. Okay. Because like I had a thought of like the previous question when you were saying, I believe it was like, how did I not necessarily love myself or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
In a relationship, what you said, like with relationships, for me, my issue was that I never had criteria.
Oh.
I accepted anything because it was like, well, this must be what I deserve. I didn't want to rock the boat. I didn't want to say, well, hey, I don't like this. And so, but because I'm only like that with love and like in my life, I don't mind. Like I'll speak up about whatever. Like that's me. But when it came to love, it just created like this timid part. So it was like, it would try to break out sometime of like me, like this part, like, hey, why the fuck, yo, why are you doing that? Like, and so I would find occasionally I would have, and it would only really come out when I'm drunk. So it's like I have had those moments when I would be talking to somebody or dating or have feelings or whatever, and I get drunk as fuck one night after like dealing with whatever, months of whatever the fuck, or not saying anything, and just be like, you know what? I find it real funny. Like, and
Oh,
go
you
into
one of
that
those
mode.
people.
Like,
You one of those people. I find it
not
real funny.
anymore. Not,
I'm like, damn.
do you remember December 2019? Yeah, because I do. Like, no, I'm not so much anymore, but that was just like the thing that I would accept whatever and would blow up at some point of overwhelming or overwhelming myself or feeling so much of like not saying anything about this and this, and now it's like 6 different moments that I didn't say anything about that now I'm about to just unload on you in this one moment. um and yeah, so that's kind of one of the major ways of how I didn't love myself. But I say the part that was the hardest to love, and it's two of them. One, I'll say my body, because that's the more simplified one. I'll say because my body has went through different phases. um I've been fat, I've been small, and in between, you know what I'm saying. um and that shit is it's not, it ain't always easy sometimes. Like, I remember the times I wouldn't take my shirt off at a pool. Like, I don't give a fuck less now. Like, I got my tattoos and shit now. Like, and I don't have a perfect body, but like the body that I have, I genuinely fuck with. I look at my shit like in the mirror, like, all right, look at you. Like, but the other one was my feminine energy.
Mm-hmm.
um Getting older and coming into spirituality, I recognize there's power in having both masculine and feminine energy and really balancing it. But I've always just naturally had a affinity towards my feminine energy. Like, and I'm not like super feminine, which isn't a problem, whichever, be who you are. But naturally I'm not, but I have feminine ways, and it was something I struggled with for a while because of where I was from, and you know what I'm saying, like being the low key gay in the hood, which, like, again, I say low key because I couldn't really talk about it, but like I was fucking gay. Um, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
just learn to try to suppress that. And it's not to say that gay is synonymous with femininity either. It's just, for me, they were, and it was something that I like struggled with for a while. So like once I got older, I was just like, I mean, who gives a fuck? Like, because again, I think I've reached a point where I have the perfect balance of the two. Like, I'm not overly masculine. I ain't walking in this bitch like, "What's good, nigga?" But I'm not walking around like, "What's good, sis?" Like, I'm
Yeah,
whatever.
you're not super
I'm
flamboyant. You know what
like,
I mean?
and again, that's not to say that there's anything wrong with that, but that's just not who I am, and I had to accept that it's okay to have my feminine tendencies. Um, so yeah, that was the hardest part. Like, I naturally get close to women, like they just, like, like it was just like shit. Like, I can't help it, y'all. If I can.
I can't help getting bitches.
And I swear to God, niggas used to always say like, "Oh, he got the hoes," and I was like, "All right," not knowing that I'm chilling with the hoes and we watching Beyonce videos. Like, I'm sitting here learning choreography with these bitches. Like,
Yo,
I'm not.
you know what's crazy though? I remember I was
Yeah.
like, I was reading something right, and it was saying, all right, how can you tell a man gay? And he's like, well, is he listening to your conversations and actually giving you feedback on what you're talking about? Then your man might be DL. I was like, damn, you can't
Oh,
actively
man.
listen, or you might be DL, bro.
Cause men can't do shit. I told you, men
I
can't
won't
do
lie.
shit.
Coming from my spectrum, from straight spectrum
Yeah,
right here, I won't lie. Like I'm not gonna be like, all right, babe, let me hear you cry about what happened at work today, which you probably already made all the problems you created. Let me cry. Let's talk about all the problems you created today at work, babe. Oh, let's talk about Bad Girls Club, babe. Oh my God, how was
I mean, so like,
I
it don't
can't
have
do
to
it.
necessarily be like that, right? But like, it's a way to like
I'd be like,
and show
yeah,
the
that's dope.
interest without.
What
Yeah,
did she
that's
say?
dope.
What did she say about you? Oh yeah, she
But
shouldn't
you
say
know what?
that.
I'm like that too sometimes. It just depends on what my attention span is. So I don't know if that's just like a straight or gay. I think that might just be a guy thing. Because I've had my moments. I'm like, what?
That's
You is
crazy.
lying.
Who did that?
No, they didn't. I did want to say real quick too with the comedian shit. Like, and that's so funny because like it's something I possibly consider doing one day. But right now I'm doing other shit. That's something that like just one day on some random fun shit. But I would more so, like I told you, do acting first because that's what I do. So I would more so do like a comedy role versus stand up. But stand up is, I think, one of the best skills to teach you how to stand on your toes and read a room.
Yeah, I think that's a really
Because
important
you're
part.
required, and especially if you really want, if you care about what you're doing, you really want to read your audience and like um be good on your toes, like, because
You
sometimes a
know,
joke might not land how you want it, but then
I
the
kind of made a
pickup or
really
recovery from it might.
yeah, like sometimes you just gotta like I'm learning. So I'm learning right now. My phase right now is I'm learning how to write jokes. I'm learning to write a plethora. And you're not actually writing jokes. It's like you kind of like reflect
You're
on a
writing ideas.
situation. Yeah, you're writing
Yeah.
ideas and you're reflecting on things that just happened. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you all right. So one time, so I was on
Yeah.
stage. I remember I was on stage with Farney Marco. It's got me in trouble. I'm surprised no one found me at my car after the conference. I mean after the show. I was like, "What now, nigga? What down?"
Right.
So I got set up. So
Who's
you
all
know,
that shit you was talking?
so I came in there with some dress shoes on because I left my actual sneakers, and I wasn't
Right.
dressed like a hood guy. I was like, "Bro, where you from, Chester?" He's like, "Oh, that must be the suburbs," and like, it's not the suburbs. And he was like, I was
Right.
like, man, I'm reformed. So I don't do shit like that. I'm reformed hood. But
Right.
I remember one lady was like, one guy he was a plant too. This guy was a plant. He was like, yeah, what should I do? I cheated on my girlfriend with her best friend. And Funny Marco just stares at me. Like he made eye contact for like 5 minutes straight.
Ouch.
He's just staring at me. He's
Right.
like, he gives me the mic. And I'm like, I stand up. I was like, oh, it felt natural to be honest when I got up there. And I was like, bro, does she know about? She don't know about it, right? Don't tell her. And she was like, yo, what if I tell her? I was like, well, will she die?
Uh,
She
right.
is she gonna die? No.
You
And she
know,
was
her
like,
heart might.
I'm like, listen, man. Sometimes you need to show that there's still competition in there. And
Ouch,
then,
ouch. Cause like,
and
cause
then
yes,
like,
and not like that. I don't know.
and
I
then
get
one
okay.
person was like, yeah, my man cheated on me with another man. Don't not never show weakness like that in my life. And I was like, oh shit. And then
Oh.
I was like, damn. So you let him back home? And she was like, I was like, yo, what if he was like a bottom? Did you think about that shit? And then she was like, and she was like, you know what? I just let God deal with it. I prayed. I was like, bro, I was like, man, you can't pray to get away.
You can't. You can't.
I
If it's there, it's that's it.
mean, if you let your man come back in the house after
But
all that, I'm
like,
just saying, I like, you gotta be super gay to admit it to you.
yeah. I must say he had to feel comfortable enough, so they must have like done some shit. Like she must have do shit too, or has done some. Like if he felt comfortable to just, yeah, babe, I'm a fucking guys. That's just remember that movie or that line with Janet Jackson. Oh, so you doing the bed then? Like,
Ew.
yo,
And it was like it was good. People laughed at it, and it was like, damn,
yeah,
this is fucked up. And then some people were like, oh, how you know? Are you down low? I'm actually very secure with myself enough to know that I'm
yeah,
not gay at
yeah,
all. It is
and
crazy.
that's
And it's okay to
and
be like, as soon as like, you know what I don't like about like people who maybe a little bit like homophobic, it always comes from
yeah,
like the ladies who get their heart broke by a man that cheated on another man.
yeah. Oh, see, I was gonna say it always come from, at least in my experience, and I'm pretty sure any other gay guy can really vouch for this one. It always come from a random ass ugly nigga who's sitting there talking about, hey, but don't bring that gay shit over here. I didn't plan on it. I didn't. I didn't plan on it. There's
But
always some random ass ugly nigga
yeah.
who is just standing there. Don't bring that shit here. No, I wasn't. I wasn't going to. Don't worry about it. Like, but what I was gonna say too, real quick, um, with the stand up thing, my mom actually used to do it when I was
Mm.
younger. Like I kind of come from just a funny ass family, and she still like hosts things occasionally here and there. But like she tried her hand to stand up, and that's part of what made me want to like think about it too, because I'm like, I already know what my stick would be. Like my whole little spiel and shit. Like I got to like set up for my comedy special and all that. Cause like my life is kind of like some everybody hates Chris shit. So I'm just gonna like talk shit about some of the situations I've been in. Like it's been some wild shit. Like the time I got a fucking piercing stuck in my lip, I had to get it taken out.
God damn.
Um, yeah, but it was a funny ass moment or a funny ass summer. Because I remember when I first did it, my mom didn't want me to do it, and that was like I was away at college and shit. Like she's like, "Yeah, don't do that." I just jokingly said I was gonna do it. You better not fucking fuck up your face, all that. You know, I'm like, cool, I ain't gonna do it. I went away to school. I did that shit. I said that to her. I posted pictures on Facebook and shit. She saw it, and she called me to cuss me out. She saw it like a week later, but the day before that, I noticed it was healing up. Like you got to push it through so that it. I wasn't doing that shit. I looked at my mouth. It was like a silver dot. I was like, oh fuck. I grabbed like a fork. I'm trying to like peel back my lip over it because my lip is healing over it now. Like
Oh my
it's
god.
over it. And I'm like, huh. Couldn't get it. And I had to tell mom it was stuck, and she bust out laughing because she was like, "And I fucking told you not to get it. That's what you get. That's exactly what you get."
Learned your
She said, "It's
lesson
stuck,
there.
ain't it?" Yeah, yeah. But yeah, just little like not that wouldn't be a part of it, but just like the idea of shit like that, like shit has always just randomly fucking happened to me. The time I got hit by a fucking parked car, and then I actually got hit by a car by an old lady. Uh,
I remember the time with
yeah,
the BJs and I was some old ladies like, hey, can you help me put this in my car? And I was like, sure, ma'am. And I helped them and they start saying, oh my God, we didn't mean it. We didn't mean it. And then she
the
was like,
fuck,
Shirley, are you a racist?
bitch, get
And I was
your
like,
ass.
I'm sorry, we thought you worked here. I was like, no, I don't work here.
Bitch.
They all don't work here, Shirley.
they they all don't work here.
I
that's
was
the
like,
part.
wow.
They
But
got me.
in my
Wait.
heart, I was just doing the right thing.
Right. All right. So next one. What do you love the most about yourself?
I'm fucking weird, bro.
I love
I,
that. Hell yeah.
I I'm just built different. And what I
Yeah.
mean by that is like I feel like it's only really one me. And I gotta start
Yeah.
enjoying that. Like I'm revolutionary, I'm a forward thinker, and like it's just I have an edge to me and I gotta respect my edge. For many years I didn't
Yeah.
respect my
Yeah.
edge. Like at one time I was just always trying to be a good person, but like over the years I just got more sharp, you know what I mean? Like a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah.
And I started coming to my conclusions over the last 2 years. At one point I was toxic, but I was like, how a man that like Pokemon and all this nerdy
Oh,
stuff
everybody is because we all got our different ways. Because like
was
even the
toxic. I'm
nerd
like,
can be
damn.
toxic because they've been they like the nerd have. You know what I'm saying? They have like so much of the I guess just for like lack of better terms, like popular social like shit. So like they don't even like what I've noticed with some like nerds or whatever, um, they can be dicks. The way they talk is just like I don't the fuck. Like and it's because again, like they probably didn't go to like a lot of the parties or whatever, just like for
They didn't get
to
it.
simplify the conversation, you know what I'm saying? But
And
like, um, yeah, I think everybody got some different ways of toxicity.
I didn't know it. Like it's like who I choose too. Like I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I'll be choosing like I think I got my I'm thinking about my dad more and more the older I get and how he is. We don't spend much time together, but we pretty
yeah,
much
I
almost
think
the same
men do
person.
that.
We're almost the
Yeah,
same person and spend probably no more than 100 hours with each other, which is
yeah,
crazy to think about. And I'm like 30, so
yeah.
and he's just dated my mom, which is mom's really ratchet. I won't lie. My mom was a thug. My mom
Yeah,
used to
same,
sell.
same.
My mom used to. I'm not gonna say she was, but I think my mom was selling to other people's mothers. Hard drugs, and she used to get in fights all the time. She got her GED.
It's a mom's club.
She got a couple. I think she got bank robbery on the record. All that good stuff. You know what I
Oh
mean?
shit.
And my dad
Yeah.
is such a quiet dude. He's a quiet 6'4" dude, and
Yeah.
he just really, 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 really chill. And like when he got to come over and fix my mom stuff, he was like, "This is why I don't mess with your ass now." And then he just go home. But he only had like one, like his. They were just friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had a baby. That's pretty much what it was. But I find myself
That's my
liking
mom
like
and dad.
women who are a little bit more rough around the edges.
Hmm.
I was like, for some reason, the
I mean,
other
it's a
day,
little fun. It's
somebody
a
was
little
like,
fun.
"Yo, this girl did a crime. I'm not gonna say what she did, but she went viral for
Yeah.
doing this crime." And just to let you know, this
Yeah, I got
girl,
excited.
I was like, something about this.
So damn, huh? So what's her bill set at? Because I could probably help. Some
Yeah,
we
I'm
can.
like,
She need a pen pal.
you stabbed a couple people. Damn.
Oh shit, that ain't even that bad, baby. ah, so wait, I
Yeah.
was gonna say real quick. You reminded me. I don't remember who it was. It was an interview that I saw recently, but I just like a pod clip or something. But basically, the point is they were saying accept your greatness, and that's kind of like what you were saying. Like I think at a certain age you have to do that because that's where I'm at. Like you know what I'm saying, really being like, okay, I'm done playing with me. I'm done playing with me. Like I'm the shit. It's not another me. And it's not to say it's always gonna be somebody smarter, taller, cuter, better bodies, fucking better singer, whatever the fuck. But they won't have what I have. And it's like the more I think you cultivate that, the better it gets. And it just
Exactly.
takes a long time. It just takes a long time to accept that. So I think that's what our 20s are for. I think we go around
I'm gonna
trying
call it
to,
the toxic
fit those
20s
parts.
because
Yeah, yeah. We go
just
around just trying to get
trying to figure
in
it out and
in
destroy shit. And I won't lie,
yeah,
we were just
get in.
destroying shit. You
We
know what I mean?
avoid our true selves in the effort to get a piece of everything else that's out there. But it's like I
Yeah.
think the more I come to myself, the more it's never necessarily anything new. It's just shit that was always there since I was a kid. I think when we're our youngest, we know exactly who we are, but we can't articulate it because we're fucking children. We don't really understand. And then we go through life getting all these bits and pieces, and then we get into the 30s. And I think 30s is when it's like, aha. um, but I'll say so for me, like the parts that I really love about myself, I had a serious one and a funny one.
Mm-hmm.
One is I'm clumsy. I'm clumsy as fuck. I've been clumsy my entire life. I am a mistake magnet. Shit just happens. So I remember one time I walked outside on the porch. Literally, my brother, like everybody was playing. I just woke up from a nap. Walk outside on the porch for 2 seconds. Frisbee, right into my fucking face. I was like, what the fuck? Everyone was like, oh shit, sorry. And they couldn't have planned it because the bitch was already like in the air. Like I turned back around, walked back in the house, and my nose bleeding. I was like, you were outside for barely a minute. what, what happened? Like she's like, at some point I used to hurt myself so much. I mean, I still do. Like honestly, at 30, but like I used to hurt myself so much. So mom just like she wouldn't. It's not ain't no point of checking it. She's like, you know where all the shit at. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead. But for me, because at this point I just crack. I literally die laughing. It just gives me something else to laugh at. Like I can crack up at myself. Um, and then the other one is my spirit, like my soul and shit. Like I've done a lot of like like kind of talked about that a little bit. Like I'm really spiritual and I fuck with my spirit, like, cause it. I think everything starts there, like even with your self love, like that and your spirit are kind of like hand in hand. And so it's just like once you again cultivate that, like like the it factor people
Yeah.
talk about. I think that's what the it factor is. It's your spirit. So like that connection that you have that can't be fucked with. Like when you walk into a room, you walking into the room with fucking God, with your ancestors, with all the love of the people that you know what I'm saying, your family and your friends, and like the love that you have for yourself. Like you're walking into a room surrounded by just energy, and it's like you ever like I don't know, like I know for me sometimes it's been moments, and I had to realize that's what it was. That people just be looking at me sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck, like. And where I'm at, I was like, okay, dog. And like, I've grown to realize, oh, that's what that is. Because I was watching, I think Maya Angelou. Yes, she had an interview. She was saying that she's like, when you walk into a room and people don't know what they see when they see, they just see something. They like, what's going on over there? I need to figure that out. And like, that's kind of always been like, I feel like how people have been, and like now having that understanding, that's my spirit. So yeah.
Yeah, you can sense it. It's like when two people who are like well versed with their spirit and well developed, you can find
Yeah.
each other in rooms. You know what I mean? That's where like I think that's where presence come from. Like you can sense someone has a
Yeah.
really really big presence, even when they're quiet. It's like it's much more of them there, even when they're silent.
Yes, I dog. That's fucked with me sometimes because I'll actively try to be silent. People are like, hey, you like, are you good? You okay? What's going on? Like, I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just here. Like, but it's like the feel of it is so big, and I think that's just dope. Like, I think everybody has that. I just don't think everybody works on it. So
Mm,
I can vouch for the fact that I worked on that shit. Like. And still actively work on it to this day.
mm. You know what's crazy about like spirit too? I think like I think I've like really built my yin and my yang, and also like my light and my darkness
Yeah.
really well over times. Like I was really always a good kid, but now I kind of use both of my good and my bads, you could say, to
Yeah.
build a well rounded person. Like I'm not scared to be bold. You know what I mean? And I don't
Yeah.
really believe
Yeah.
in being the nice guy because the nice guy don't make it. The bold guy makes it, and you don't
Yeah.
want to be the nice guy. Nice guy like they get pushed over like on some real
Yeah.
stuff. You can be a
Yeah.
good guy, but you don't gotta be a nice guy to be a good guy. Let's say like, you can give it to charity, you could be a real asset to the world, but then let's say somebody slap your mom.
All that
Then you
shit
got
going out the
people,
window.
yeah. Now all that shit, it
Yeah.
don't even go out the
Yeah.
window. You just whoop his ass. Like, all right, well,
Yeah.
you give the I believe in giving tough love and like soft love
Yeah.
both.
Yeah. Excuse me. And you know what? I 100% agree with that. And I think I kind of got that from my parents. In art, being an artist, um, especially if you like actively, pursue certain things, it's constantly putting yourself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's not easy. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be told some, depending on the industry, you will hear some real fucked up shit like, oh, that was awful. That I can't really think of that specific, but you'll hear fucked up shit. And so between that for me and having the parents that I have, like my mom and dad, they're the same way. Like they will tell me if something or if they didn't like something. And it's not gonna be, oh, that wasn't too good. No, I'm like, let's say I do a song. Okay, that harmony was fucked up. I don't like that. That was a little flat right there. That was ugly right here, but this is good right here. So you need to highlight this. Like I come from that.
Yeah.
So it's like, and like, um, I've always told people, and my mom used to say when we were kids, and like, as kids, you don't really get it, but once you get older, it clicks. And she used to always say, I speak to y'all a certain way because the world won't sometimes. And I get that now. So I tell people, it ain't shit worse that you can say to me than my mom will say to me. So what's up? Like that's not a thing that you can say that's gonna make me like, oh, like my mom has said. And it's not even, not to say like she's a bad person. That my mom's amazing. But even if I got in trouble sometimes, she's saying some fucked up shit then. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Are you sure you love me? Cause how? Like,
Why you saying
but
that like that?
why, ma, please, but like it has instilled that part to have that tough exterior, and to know like, and just in life too, like yin and yang, good, bad, all that shit is needed. So it's like, I'm not gonna be, you don't have to be a dick, you know what I'm saying? You can always be kind and loving and caring, but it does require, our life requires some of your edge, your dark. Like, don't let people play in your face, shit like that. Like that's something I'm learning at this age of like, all right, I let motherfuckers play with me a few times. That's enough. That's enough right there. So, yeah. Yeah, that shit it's just required. I'm 100% there. Like I know how to use my shadow side and my light side. I can bring you heaven. I can bring you hell. God damn it. Which one you want? You pick.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's see. So, the last one I'll say is, do you have any advice for anyone who is struggling with self love?
Well, before you get self love, before you love somebody, you gotta accept them. So, do you accept who you are at this moment? Because if you don't accept anything, you will never be able to build. You keep so accept self acceptance is the foundation of self love. If you got a shaky foundation, you will never be able to, create and manifest love. Because at the end of the day, love is acceptance, no matter it's unconditional acceptance, no matter what. So
Yeah.
if you do a bad thing tomorrow, let's say like you forget you put the wrong gas, you put diesel in your car. Are you gonna
Yeah.
still love yourself even though you just short your whole car?
Mm. Oof. Yeah. 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 Yes. 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 Sorry, you gave me a. Yeah. So I mean, that's exactly it. I think we have to start with accepting our mistakes and accepting that we're not perfect. That's the first thing. I think self love comes when we allow ourselves to be good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we fuck up. Sometimes we. I mean, yeah, that's just it. I don't want to break that down no more. Sometimes we fuck up. Sometimes we do things that we shouldn't have done. Sometimes we accept things we should have accepted. The problem comes in when we don't acknowledge that as such. Like, you can't change anything that you don't acknowledge. So first we need to acknowledge all these things that are actively stopping us from loving ourselves, and then try to like take them on. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had one of mine was like my hate of my skin. Like I didn't just wake up one day and say, fuck it, I love it. I had to actively spend days, you know, looking at dark skinned people, you know what I'm saying? And seeing my own skin and just like getting a skin routine so that I could take time, like to the point where now I've had like a skin routine for like 8 years that's fortified. Like I know, and it's like, but it's like, when I first started it, it was just the act of spending 5 or 10 minutes in a mirror looking at my skin.
Mm-hmm.
It takes practice. Um, so once you acknowledge those different parts, like my femininity, I sit there and I stop trying to hide shit. I let myself cross my legs now. Like I had to like Um, I would play like before, like if I was listening to women music, sometimes I would just put it in my headphones. I had to let myself play that shit out loud, like just little shit like it, spend time with those parts that you are struggling with, and find the love in that, and then you're good from there. Because at that point, it becomes habit, and the moment something in you makes you feel like you don't love yourself, or the opposite, um, off muscle memory, you're gonna attack it. Like, oh, what?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what's
It
that?
takes repetition.
I don't like this. This ain't what I'm vibing with. Hold
I think
on.
they
So,
call it what was it, auto suggestion? That's what they call it in
I
Think and
think
Grow Rich.
so.
Think and Grow Rich. They talk about auto suggestion. You talk to yourself enough that, let's
Mm-hmm.
say, your next thought's gonna be automatically positive. You won't even think about negative. It's gonna be automatically, yo, do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Because
game
yeah, muscle
time.
memory, it just becomes a practice. Like, and even if, because like one of mine, ways too, like with like the spirit part, is like meditation. Occasionally I fall off. I might go like a few months without doing it, but once I'm back on, I'm back on. And that's just normal too because it happens. So as long as the habit is built, no matter how off and on it may be, it's gonna be there, and that again becomes the muscle memory. So with self love, it has to become. It's like working out.
Mm.
You got to practice that shit. Got to take the classes. You got to train, and before you know it, absolutely in love with yourself. Totally 100% in love with yourself.
I have to practice. What are some things that you've done so you've been looking in the mirror? I'm trying to think of some things I've done.
Uh-huh. I mean, yeah. So I
Oh,
mean, it just depends on the different parts. One second. It just depends on like the different parts, but like one of them, uh, with okay, so for example, how my mind works sometimes, it's really random, and I struggled with that sometimes because I was like, damn, I just can't focus. Like I started to let myself live in the randomness of my mind, right? So instead of, so I'll say, for example, so like art, like I do pods, I fucking sing, I do poetry, and all kind of shit. Before I would try to force myself to be in one thing at a time, which I mean, in the moment I'm going to do that one thing. But what I mean is, if I'm working on poetry, I'm just going to do that day, kind of thing. Like I really have to
yeah,
get this. I want to. It's like now I've learned to flow into my shit. So it's like right now I might want to do poetry, and in 2 hours I want to dance, and then an hour from that I want to mix and work on my music, and then after that, and it's like I let myself be that, and like with doing that, I've found a whole new way to create, to where now I'm the way that I create is like unmatched. But say I will say that's one thing too, because like now I'm like, you ain't gonna outwork me, I'll tell you that.
yeah. I don't know how you got all
Because
these
I let
podcasts,
myself.
man. I'm like, damn.
I did have to stop one of them, just because I'll probably pick it back up though.
Was it the Dream Journal?
But yeah, I haven't picked that one back up.
I feel like that one's a little bit
Um,
more research and more intensive.
yes, it's very and that's not a bad thing. It's just like, I try to put care in what I do too. So it's just like, all right, hold on. Take it. So I think I like, once the like seasons of this and Man of Horror like edge out, I'll edge that back in. But yeah, just it's just different. Like my body, like um, I spent more time like nude, like just to be real, like letting myself just be like, fuck it, fuck it, um, I I didn't judge myself for the way that I ate too. I stopped doing that. Um, and then I naturally started to pick up healthier habits. I have my moments, which is human. I'll have a week, a real bad week. Last week was awful. Let me clean that up this week. But I dropped the judgment of that. You know, it's a lot of ways. I think it just comes from what specifically is stopping you from loving yourself, and then taking it from there.
Mic drop. I would drop my mic, but it's attached to the arm, and I don't want to pay for
Fuck
another
it.
mic. I don't know who's doing
Yeah.
it at work, but there's we have the was it the Shure mics? They really
Oh
expensive
yeah,
mic.
yeah.
Someone's dropping them at my job, and I'm like,
Oh right,
why? It's like denting them. I'm just like, stop dropping the mic. So now I'm very cautious about dropping mics.
right. I do gotta say, because you just reminded me. Got fired today. Sucks.
For what?
For some bullshit. Basically, some quote unquote late time shit, but I had time that was supposed to cover it, but my supervisor didn't use the time to cover it. So yeah, some bullshit. But it's fine. I just wanted to say that because it's been a wild ass year, but I feel like it's gonna be all right. I don't know. Maybe my spirit telling me that, but I just felt the need to just shout that out right quick because he talking about jobs and I ain't got one. But it's fine.
All right. So with that being said, any final words here?
Um, I will end it with love yourself. Everything, literally, like the quote says, everything starts there. So the more that you start to love yourself, the more you find your own flow and your own path, and the more shit just kind of, even with, like I said, me losing my job, it's terrifying. But I mean, I've been here before, so I'm just like, whatever. Like I'm gonna be good. Like everything's gonna come to you. You reach a certain point in your self love that you know that the world is working for you. So just start with that. Loving yourself.
Love yourself, guys.
Yeah.